Hey folks, it's Lev. Welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new, I use he and pronouns. It feels like forever since I filmed a video, but in reality, it's literally been like 1.5 weeks. Um, I want to start by telling y'all what I've been doing off YouTube and just reflect on where I'm at the moment and how I see it, and move how to progress forward from there. I have so much acne. It's horrendous. I am almost 6 months on testosterone. Almost 6 months. In like 2 weeks, I'll be like 6 months on testosterone. That's unreal. I keep using this word. Like, I use this word every single time I talk about my medical transition progress, but it's absolutely unreal. I can't believe it's been almost 6 months. Last week, I managed to achieve almost 40 punches within 5 seconds on the heavy bag outside, like straight jab crosses on the bag continuously, almost 40 in 5 seconds. It took me a long time to get to this point and develop hand speed to that level, you could say. Definitely when I started boxing last year in April, I was nowhere close to being able to punch that fast. And yeah, it's pretty incredible how much just consistent work every week can lead to such awesome results. Another very exciting thing I did is I'm part of a little web series. I was invited to be part of a little web series, not TV. It's not. It's just YouTube and social media platforms that it's gonna be posted on. I was filmed in public. Like, there was like a camera person, a two-person camera crew. I was standing in public and talking. I was being interviewed in public. Essentially, they connected a lavalier mic to me. Actually, I'm gonna put some photos here now so you can see. It's literally, if anyone had walked past when I said I'm transgender and I'm pansexual, they would know. I literally came out and I was just talking very freely like this, and I wasn't really scared. Like, I didn't even look at how many people stopped to look at me because I was focused on answering the questions. So it was like an interview style in the community setting sort of thing. I didn't even stop to look, and I wasn't even paying attention to what people were doing around me because I was so focused and like concentrated on talking. And I also realized that I talk with my hands a lot. I didn't realize that until one of the camera, one of the people in the camera crew. They're like, "You talk with your hands a lot." I didn't realize that until they told me, which is really interesting. And I'm doing that right now. So that's gonna be out in a few weeks. I'm very excited to see the end progress. It's me and 9 other people who are invited to be part of this project. It's so cool. I went to my first trans and gender diverse peer support group. I've never been to a support group in my life, and I went and I love it. So I'm gonna keep going to it, and it's a great, I guess it's a great sense of community when I'm in a room with people who are also part of a minority community, the LGBTQ plus community, specifically trans and gender diverse. Um, yeah, it's really nice. It's just really comforting as well, just being present with other trans humans and I'm not the only one. I'm doing a lot of awesome things at work as well, including sharing reflections with my team, and everyone's just so wholesome. I absolutely love it. And a lot of people on my team were like, "Thank you for your honesty and openness and vulnerability and stuff like that whenever I share some deep personal thing or some deep personal reflection." And literally the only thing I think of is I'm just being me. And I don't know how I feel about people thanking me for being myself. Now the reality of my life, outside of the good things, ever since that I chose to take a break from YouTube, my health hasn't entirely been better. Um, there was one point last week for half of my day I experienced severe abdo pain, non-stop abdo pain. It was very sharp pain, and sometimes there was this burning sensation, and it was relentless. Um, it, it didn't stop. Like I whenever I have a technique. I mean, I guess a strategy is whenever I go lie down, it helps. But then that time I was lying down for like 15-20 minutes, and it didn't do anything. And then I started feeling very frustrated. And then yeah, my IBS is really weird, and the pain just been on and off for the past few weeks or 2 weeks at least. Um, and sometimes I feel like my nervous system just is very dysregulated and sort of heightens. I can tell whenever my pulse starts increasing and my body's just more tense, and I'm still trying to figure out what's setting it off, or um the deeper reasoning, the deeper complicated interrelated reason why this keeps happening. Because it's like I can pinpoint some issue that may be setting it off. I work through that, and then I still get pain, and then I'm like, what is next? What is the next thing? And that's where I'm at right now. I'm very stuck, but I just have to keep pushing on and persevering with life. I told someone today that like I don't I'm not gonna stop, and this pain is not gonna stop me from me doing what I want and doing what I find meaningful in life. Um, I already accept that this is a part of my journey, and it's gonna keep happening until I I I try to until I understand the deeper reason why my body is manifesting these symptoms. I also said to the person, I can either choose to, sit here and do nothing and just live in misery and I guess be stuck in my own head in a way and think, why is this happening to me? Why does this keep happening? I don't know what to do. Or I can, acknowledge that the pain is here, but then choose to soldier on anyway and be like, you're here, I see you, and I can't really do much about you, but I'm gonna keep pushing on. And by pushing on and moving forward and taking steps forward, I don't mean like full on going full on out maximum and then burning myself out completely. That's not what I mean. It means like doing something anyway, even if it's a small thing, just showing up anyway. Even if I perform less well in work or a task than when I'm feeling better. The important thing for me is consistency and showing up anyway, even when I'm in pain. There is this quote I heard a while back, and I really like it. It's just because you're injured, it doesn't mean you can't do something. Essentially, just because I am in pain and experiencing this rough patch, it doesn't mean that I cannot do anything at all. I can always do something, even if it's small. It still counts. Another thing I thought of today is like I I do taekwondo and boxing at present. I used to go to taekwondo classes, but now I just train solo at home mostly. But when I used to go to taekwondo classes, we did sparring, which is essentially controlled fighting. I've never been in a boxing ring and fought someone before, so I'm referring to taekwondo. Sparring. At first when I started. Okay, this is wait. That's actually going off a different topic. I'll save that for another video. I guess in a sparring match or a controlled fight, just because I get kicked, it doesn't mean that the fight's over. Um, just because I kick someone, it doesn't mean that the fight's over. It continues. Like the fight continues until like, there's an someone's like is seriously injured, or there's a penalty or something like that, but the fight doesn't stop just because one person gets kicked. um and that's sort of how I see this current situation. Like, my IBS is here, but that doesn't mean the fight's over. Like, I can keep going, like it's not over yet. And I wrote a little Instagram post the other day. Is like, for me, the time that when the fight's over is when I'm lying on my deathbed. That's when the fight's over for me. As long as I'm alive and breathing, I'm not gonna stop. And the fight's not over until I'm on my deathbed. I'm gonna show y'all a little. I guess this is part of how I journal. I also journal with words, but sometimes I do things like this. I'll show y'all and I'll talk about what I got out of this. So this is what I drew like a few days ago. I wrote a lot of messages to myself as well. The picture up here is like the gut, brain, and nervous system, and I'm trying to depict how all of this interact and how it's not a single layer thing that's going on for me. It's very complicated and has many factors at play. Um, there's this mountain as well, and what I came to realize from doing that little journaling that day is that before, like, a period of, I guess for me, shedding the old Lev away, the parts of me that are no longer healthy or serve me, I shed it away and then, come back a better version of myself. Or I also think it as, you know, I'm rising from the ashes of my previous self. By previous self, I don't mean like before I came out as trans. It's not in this context. It's just like me as a human being in general. Just, there's ashes for my old self, and then I rise a new version of Lev. And what I came to realize is that before this sort of thing happens, where I rise from the ashes as a phoenix for a better version of myself, I usually experience a rough patch, a downward. I mean, it goes down and then it's like it stays down here. It goes down and it stays at this low level before I shoots up again, and that's a pattern that I've noticed. So literally, like right now, I think like, I don't have all the answers, and that's okay. I don't know why this pain keeps happening, and or what my body and nervous system are trying to communicate to me, and that's okay. I'm approaching this with a curious and empathetic sense, rather than attacking it, being kind to it, asking questions, trying to understand it, and um, basically understand why it's here, because it is signaling something to me, but my conscious mind just can't understand the language that it's using, which is like pain in my abdomen and my nervous system being dysregulated at times. I also see this period of like rough physical health as a training opportunity to continue strengthening my mental fortitude. It's like every time it happens, I just get stronger and stronger and stronger, more resilient, more wise, more able to cope with things, adapt to things more easily. And that usually happens when the thing is down here and then I shoot up again. I also think subconsciously my mind is trying to reconcile everything that happened with the relationship that grew unhealthy, and just still processing everything, and you know organizing things and be like, okay, this is good stuff, we keep this, and this is not good stuff, we put it in the trash, we don't need this. It's just sorting out things subconsciously and sort of, I guess, sort of integrate everything, the lessons and everything from that back into my identity and who I am. And something else I just thought of is like this. IBS, I guess mostly the manifestation of abdominal pain, and my nervous system being heightened at times might be a byproduct of my brain processing things, and my mind might be overloaded, and it has nowhere else to, it has no other outlet, so it manifests in physical symptoms. That is a possibility. And while the pain is unpleasant, I'm not saying I enjoy it. Either way, it's happening and it's been happening, and I'm choosing to leverage it and like take advantage of it rather than let it destroy me. And similar to the boxing training and the hand speed, it took me a while to get here. When I was first experiencing this stuff, I was just miserable and I was like, why does this keep happening to me? I'm so sad that I have no answers. I was preoccupied with finding the answer rather than just, thinking, how can I take care of myself now? What does my mind and body need now? How can I nourish myself and keep healthy in the midst of all of this chaos? And in the midst of all this chaos, this uncertainty, and these very brutal storms that don't stop coming and manifesting. Side note, but like I noticed that when I start, ever since I started working and supporting people in mental health, I realized that sometimes I just drop my voice to be very low and calm without intentionally knowing it, to not scare people, because I don't want to talk loud and scare people off. And I'm also very aware of like people might have trauma, because some of the people me and my team support have been through a lot of heavy, difficult things in life. I'm not gonna say any specifics. Just a lot of things that have this psychological trauma, emotional trauma that they're carrying with them, and something that we may not even think of can seriously trigger someone and set them down a path that is not very good. So yeah, I realize subconsciously sometimes I just speak very softly as a way to, I wouldn't say protect, but to not hurt them. I guess the ultimate point of this video, I mean the key message from this video, is that I'm stubborn as hell and I don't give up that easily. Even if I am in a world of pain and chaos, I do not give up that easily. I've said this before, but if I can't run, then I walk. If I can't walk, then I'll crawl. If I can't crawl, I'll just drag my body and mind forward. Whether I move a little bit forward or a lot forward, either way, it all counts, and I don't stop moving, and I'm just leveraging my pain to be better, be a better human being, and living life to the fullest, and doing what I want, and meaning, and things that are meaningful, and doing things I want, and doing things that are meaningful to me, in spite of this existing chaotic pain. Thank you for watching, folks, and I will see you in the next video.